to celebrate opening a trade in Palantir yesterday, I am so stoked to run big money Bagholder bingo with our friend Tom Nash. Now, Tom Nash is the biggest Palantir bull that I've ever met. And everything Palantir does has only the reason to go up. So what we're going to do is we're going to run big money Bagholder bingo. We're going to look for different phrases that Tom Nash says in big money Bagholder bingo. And somebody will win whenever you put hashtag winner in the chat. Somebody's going to walk away with a $10 Amazon gift card today. So let's let Tom tell us all about how Palantir can only go up with the emergency Palantir stock update. Do this ASAP. Now, this is a couple days old because I want to make sure I got one where he was the most bullish, the most Bagholder-ish. Let's see what he has to say.
Good. The numbers were decent, better than decent, and yet the stock tanked. The stock isn't looking much better this morning. So what in the world is going on with Palantir? What happened in the earnings? What's causing this and what comes next? Don't click nothing. Don't smash nothing. Don't buy nothing. Let's just focus on what's going on right now. So yesterday, we heard Alex Karp on the call basically say something very important.
Oh, do me a favor. If you see, actually, let me put it on the other side. If you see something on here that I missed, tell me. And tell me in the chat. And I'll be sure to put it on there. But tell me in the chat when you hear him say something.
Palantir is on fire. And I think the numbers that we got absolutely justify that. The numbers that we got from Palantir yesterday show dominance, show growth, and show excellence across the board. And I don't think he's bullshitting when he says that Palantir is on fire. I think that a lot of this short-term reaction, the price action, is going to confuse a lot of people. Now, the Q1 numbers that came out, we basically seen absolute insanity. 139 deals of $1 million or more in the first quarter alone. Imagine closing 140 deals of $1 million or more in one quarter in 3 months. Just do the averages. The US commercial remaining deal value jumped by 127%. That's basically the amount of deals that Palantir still has that it hasn't fully executed on. Basically, $2.3 billion of deals, 127% growth in just one quarter. And we basically have the main culprit of why we're getting these incredible numbers, which is AIP. The game changer, the absolute insanity that we're seeing in Palantir is AIP taking over. It is quasi-monopolistic, it is insane. And
yeah, Dr. J's totally right. Isn't this an automatic I believe in the company? It sure is. Yep. Hang on, let's go ahead and get that one. I believe in the company. All right, cool. Be sure to tell me in the chat if I miss one of these.
it is just getting started. Now, in today's video, I do want to go over the numbers with you. I'll actually talk about what happened with the price action as well, because I know you guys care, but I want you to focus on the business side more than just what happened with the price. Now, revenue-wise, we're looking at $884 million. Absolutely.
Okay, hang on. Is there anything about revenue or fundamentals? Fundamentals are strong. I'm going with that. Fundamentals are strong. Fundamentals are strong. There we go.
Absolute insanity. That's a 39% growth year over year and a 7% growth just on a quarter-to-quarter basis. Imagine looking at a company that's driving a 40% revenue growth and is still as profitable as Palantir with a 24% net income margin. And it is absolutely insane to me that people still are not getting this, but instead focusing on the short-term volatility and price action. Now,
wait. Short-term volatility. I feel like that's somewhere on here. I feel like short-term volatility is somewhere on here. No. You know what? I'll go ahead and give us they're shaking out the weak hands on short-term volatility. Here we go.
We flip to the next page. I don't want to keep it brief today. So I want you guys to think about US revenues. So the US revenues of Palantir, which is where the focus is by design of this company, the US revenues of Palantir are absolutely insane. Look at the numbers right here. We're looking at 55% year-over-year growth, 13% quarter-over-quarter growth. That's insanity. That is where Palantir is focusing their efforts right now. And you can see the result is absolutely insane. I could not be more excited about.
Okay. I believe we definitely got a couple of the market's irrationals. It's insanity. The market is irrational. The market is irrational. Where's that at? The market is irrational. Here we go. We're going to have a bingo real quick on this one, I feel.
What Palantir is about to show us, because to me, this is just a start. Now, I want to move on a little bit further here, and let's go deeper. So on the US commercial revenues, I want you to pay attention to what we have right now. Right now, we just got a $255 million quarter on US commercial, okay? If you actually do the 1 year run rate on that, that is the first time that Palantir has $1 billion of US commercial revenues run rate for the company. That's a massive milestone that nobody's talking about, especially given the fact that is a 71% year-over-year growth in US commercial revenues. Palantir is firing on all cylinders, and 80% of the retail investing community is going to be focused about the price, as always.
Hell yeah, we're focused on price. I don't know if Tom knows this, I can't say my old catchphrase anymore because we got a cease and desist letter. But Tom, I don't know if you know this, but profit follows price. Oh man, that was turned way up. That was from my soccer practice last night with the 10-year-old kids. Profit follows price. You're not going to make any profit. Oh, wait, I think that's 2 down. Here we go. Okay. You're not going to make any profit if price is going down. It's just facts. Just facts. Hang on. Let's look at this. Why can't I get to work? There we go. Right. So if you're holding something and it's going down like this, you're not making profit. But if you're holding the same thing and it's going up like this, you are making profit. Weird. It's like math, and it's universal. Weird. But the point is, price matters above everything, my friend. Your fundamentals are garbage. Your fundamentals are useless. If the price is going down, who cares what the fundamentals are? I'm losing money. But if the price is going up, oh yeah, the fundamentals make total sense. That's how these people work. That's how these people work. If the fundamentals are doing whatever the fundamentals are going to do, because I don't even follow them, I don't care. If the fundamentals are doing great and price is doing great, it all makes sense. Of course it works like this. But if the fundamentals are great and price is going down, they don't get it. What is wrong with these people? Why don't they understand how great of a stock that is, right? Like Randy says, it's amazing how that works. It's amazing how it works. All right, let's see what Tom has to say. Let's keep going here.
Now, going a little bit deeper than that, well, if you look at the government side, which nobody talks about anymore because who cares about the government business? But even the government business of Palantir is firing literally on all cylinders. It's firing on cylinders they didn't know they have. So the government side, we got $373 million. So 45% growth just on the US government revenues. That is absolutely insane. The company could not be doing better, could not be showing more dominance. We'll talk about the problems. We'll talk about the issues. Not everything is peachy and rosy. There's, of course, risks and there's, of course, issues. Nobody's perfect. This company ain't perfect. But basically, they could not execute better. If you've asked any CEO to execute, this is probably...
hang on. If you ask any CEO to execute, he probably has a tweet that he liked. Probably so. We're going to give you that space.
As best as you get from any CEO in the market right now. That's why I always said that Alex Karp is the top 3 CEO in the world. And these results prove it again. Now, I want you to pay attention here. So the guidance that Palantir gave us for the entire year of 2025 is almost $4 billion. Now, $4 billion on the year. I just want to remind you that just 3 years ago, the number was $1.5 billion. Palantir went from 1.5 to a guidance of 4 billion, which they will meet.
Dude, and those analysts are so clueless. Don't they understand? Don't they understand how important it is, right? I mean, I'm the one guy on the YouTubes who figured this out. The analysts could not have figured this out. The analysts are absolutely clueless.
In just a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. The growth is absolutely insane. Now, for those of you who don't know what the rule of 40 is, it's a pretty big deal. Essentially, what you do, when you look at growth companies and tech companies, there's a way to kind of compensate on the high PE ratios that you usually get. And the way to do this is by looking at this metric called the rule of 40. Essentially, you take the growth rate in percentages and you combine it with the free cash flow margin. So if a company is growing and it has also a high free cash flow margin, which means that the growth is not empty calories, then if you can get a score of 40, essentially, let's say 20% growth rate and 20% free cash flow margin.
By the way, who gives a flying flip, right? Who gives a flying monkey donkey what their margins are and their free cash flow and whatnots, right? If I'm buying a stock and it's not free cash flowing into my bank account, I don't care. If I buy a stock and it looks like this, and the free cash flow is leaving out of my account and going into somebody else's account, I'm not happy about that. Just saying. So who gives a flying flip about free cash flows, rules of 40s, whatever? All right. Only price will go up and put money in your bank account. Only price at the end of the day is what's going to matter.
40 would be the gold standard. That would be great. The company has a rule of 40, chef's kiss. Well, guess what? Palantir just gave us a rule of 40 of 83. Now, with the exception of NVIDIA.
There we go. Earnings will fix this. Right, Nate. Yes. Earnings will fix this because our rule of 40 means so much. It's such a chef's kiss, right? The earnings will fix the price. Yes, that's how it works.
I think has a rule of 40 above 100. And we understand why, because it is a monopoly at this point. Palantir is probably the close second. I don't think there's a company right now in the market.
Hopecast, perfect. I don't want a blueprint of a banana. I want the banana. Yeah. And Johnny right here. Free cash flow into my bank account. That's the only free cash flow I care about. Yes, Nico, the only cash flow that matters is the profits flowing into my bank account.
It has a close rule of 40 to Palantir and NVIDIA. At 83, this is what monopolies look like, especially if you look at the margin, the net margin of Palantir. We're talking about the net margin, not the operating margin, not the EBITDA margin. The net dollars in your pocket is 24 cents on the
Dollars in my pocket? Sure, that's what I care about.
dollar. And they're doing it with zero leverage, no debt, and $5 billion of cash. That is insane.
And as he goes through all this, he's just spent 5 minutes talking about the insane fundamentals, the incredible, insane fundamentals, right? None of this matters if the price is going down. But they want to put all this together when the price is going up, right? Of course the price is going up because all of this has happened. But they'll be saying all of this is happening while the price is going down. Like, oh no.
The way this company is managed, both on fiscal responsibility, the way the balance sheet looks.
You know what, Golden Ola, you got such a good point. Do these guys even mention the stock price? No, of course not. Why would they? Why would they mention the price of the stock? The thing that they can actually make money on, because they're not making money on any of this. The only thing they're making money on is the stock price. Oh yeah, Carol's saying, I'm just waiting for him to say it's undervalued. Any moment now.
Looks, the way the growth looks, the way the profitability looks. That is literally a unicorn. I've never seen a company.
Oh, it's literally a unicorn. That means it's definitely the next step. But I may have to add that. It's literally a unicorn.
Do both growth like this and profitability like this. Now, talking about that, let's talk about the problems.
Okay, problems. I thought problems didn't exist for these kind of stocks, right? They can only go up.
I mean, we're not going to ignore the risks. We're not going to ignore the issues. I mean, we got to be fair, right? So there are a few risks about this company. There are a few wrinkles. We're not going to sugarcoat it. We're not going to sweep it under the rug. Let's talk about everything. Number one, I'm not going to sit here and say that the valuation is good with Palantir. The valuation is absolutely insane.
Oh, hang on. Valuation. He's talking about valuations here. It's undervalued now. I'll go with that. I'll give you big money bingo points for that. Here we go. Big money Bagholder bingo. Here we go.
This out of the world, the valuation is sky high. Palantir at this point might be one of the most expensive companies in the stock market altogether, right? The premium there is insane. Number two, it's trading at 80 times forward sales. That is very, very expensive. We can all agree here that Palantir's valuation is very, very rich. It is insanely premium valued.
Look, I know he said it's overvalued, but I'm trying to help you out so somebody here can win big money Bagholder bingo, okay?
Now, the other part about Palantir that people kind of forget is that they really have, let's call it mixed non-US sales. In fact, they're non-existent, or at the very least marginal with Palantir. And maybe that's by design. And I can agree with that being the goal of Palantir, focusing on US first. But with this geographic concentration on the US side, that opens up a lot of geographical concentration risks. If the US is the only dominant place that you have geographically, that's just extra risk, and you got to acknowledge it. Now, on top of it, we have a huge key man risk, because if Alex Karp leaves Palantir, there is no Palantir. Palantir is Alex Karp. Alex Karp is Palantir. If he leaves, basically this company goes to zero. Now, top 20 clients, right? Right now, almost $1.4 billion. That's massive. The problem is, and that's the flip side of that, when you're holding $1.4 billion of sales by only 20 clients, that also adds a layer of risk. It's called client concentration risk. And of course, because of so much government money coming in, you're always subject to Washington insanity, which means regulation, which means change of policies. A lot of governmental changes can really impact Palantir's revenue and the bottom line as well. So you got to acknowledge that, right? Now, on top of that, we're looking at these three things, which I want you to remember, because at the end.
Okay. Anything on here that I can use? Right. We already got the unicorn, meaning it's the next Tesla. I definitely feel like Wall Street doesn't get it. Yeah. I definitely feel like Wall Street doesn't get it. Did I miss anything else? I'm not worried. I know I saw a couple of people saying, I'm not worried. Okay. All right. Let's see. Call it manipulation. Maybe on that one. We're getting really close. Okay. What do we have to get? I don't know if your heart is pumping as much as mine is. It'll bounce back. You ever played bingo in real life and you get to like that one space and you're like, come on.
End of the day, this is what I take away from Palantir, especially what happened yesterday, right? Palantir, as I said before, is a freaking unicorn. I mean, this is Victor Wembanyama, if you watch NBA, right? The way they generate profits and the way they generate growth. So a company that gives you so much profitability, such high margins at 40% growth, that is almost non-existent. Again, you can look at NVIDIA, but they're monopoly. Same way as Palantir is quasi-monopolistic. Now, AIP right now is basically killing it. AIP is converting pilot clients with absolutely no spend to 8-digit spenders in a quarter. That is absolutely insane. That is the quickest onboarding of high ticket clients I've ever seen in my life. And the net dollar retention just proves how insane that is. 124% net dollar retention, which means that it's not only industry leading, it means that clients are not leaving. Clients are staying. It's a very sticky business, and they seem to be know what they're doing. Now, the bottom line here, and this is where I want you guys to pay attention, right? So,
all right, we're at the bottom line. We still have a couple squares to go here. Nico says this is a buying opportunity. You know what? I feel like it is. I feel like this is a buying opportunity. Where's that spot? Where's that spot? Do we already have that spot? Oh, there it is. It's a buying opportunity. There it is, right next door. Okay. We're really close to 2 bingos here. It'll bounce back. I'm in it for the long term, right? But we still got a chance for all these other ones.
So Alex Karp is not apologetic about the fact that he is US centric, right? He's always been open about it. He makes no apologies about it. US first, and if you don't like it, well, take a hike. He doesn't care, and most of Palantir investors basically are in the same boat here. Number two, we're talking about massive amount of clients that is absolutely industry agnostic, starting from the AARP to Hyundai to AIG, Citibank. I mean, you can name the clients. Oh my goodness! I mean, this is absolutely a never-ending list of clients of airline industry, shipping.
They must have a patent pending if we have a never-ending list of clients. There we go. I'm giving you another one. Let's keep going. We're so close to so many bingos.
Industry, insurance industry, banking industry. I mean, I can go down the list. It is absolutely industry agnostic. Now, on top of it, as I said before, this is a monopolistic business. And if you don't believe me, look at the margins and the growth. The only way.
See, like, just to go on a little tangent here real quick, because I've never gone on a single tangent before. Who gives a flying monkey donkey on this, right? Looking at this, do you actually go through all of this stuff in your head? Like, oh, it's a unicorn, right? Earnings are so great, and it's got its PE ratio of this and that, right? Does it really matter? I mean, not that I've ever said this before, but I don't think there's any chance that somebody's going to go through all these little things on here and get it right 100% of the time, where there's such geniuses. But I think what really happens is they go through all this and they build up justifications in their mind as to, okay, I'll just hold it for the long term, right? If they're losing money on it, I'll just hold it. Because, I mean, I have to be right. If all of these things are lining up telling me how right I am, I have to be right. I think looking at it from this perspective takes away the objectivity and creates a story inside of a lot of people. And when it creates a story, they can get emotionally attached to a stock. And we don't want to be emotionally attached to anything, right? Because all stocks are bad. All stocks are bad. Every single one is bad. I've actually had people in the YouTube comments argue with me on this. What do you mean all stocks are bad? Don't you know this is a great company? No. You're not getting it. All stocks carry market risk. Every single stock in the market carries market risk. Every single stock that you put on, if it's Apple, if it's Netflix, if it's Palantir, if it's SoFi, if it's AMD, if it's Disney, if it's Coca-Cola, if it's Tesla, it doesn't matter. Every single one of them can go down, which is why I say they all have market risk. If all stocks have market risk, you need to always trade risk first and take it from the perspective of every once in a while, they act right. And if you go from the perspective of all stocks are risky, all stocks are a problem, all stocks are bad, but every once in a while they act right, you will be way more cautious and probably a lot more profitable versus coming up with all these reasons as to why this stock is so great. And Randy says, I love the Bagholder bingo. I do too. I think it's fun. Okay, so we've got to get us a winner. Come on, Tom. Take us home here.
A company deserves a rule of 40 of 80, in which basically the growth and the margins are that high, is if there's nothing else. If they are the only game in town, and Palantir is the only game in town. Now, of course, you have seen yesterday, and I don't know what happens today, maybe it continues, the decline in the stock price after the earnings. It's a volatile stock. A lot of expectations were baked into the share price before earnings. And I don't know if Palantir could have done better to prevent the stock from falling after so much weight put on their shoulders with the expectations, unrealistic.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how Palantir could keep the stock from falling with so much weight on their shoulders. Seems unrealistic, right? I feel like that's just a paper loss. I feel like that's just a paper loss. I even feel like that could be market manipulation. Yes, Salty Brad, thank you for that. That totally feels like market manipulation. I don't know. I feel like it'll bounce back. I feel like that could be up. It could be like that's up on deck. Let's see.
And it is a volatile stock, but as I said before, it is temporary. I think Palantir is trading at a huge premium. I think we can all agree to it. It's not a cheap stock at all. Nothing about it is cheap. But I just want to say something else. Since
will you please say I'm in it for the long term? That would be great. If you could say that, Tom, that would be amazing.
February of this year, when Palantir first hit $115 before it dropped to 70, and then as it went up back to 125, and now today again, I've not changed my message. And my message is quite simple. If you have been buying Palantir since 2020, since 2021, since 2022, since 2023, and you are sitting on 100, 200, 300, 400% of gains, some in my community are a lot higher than that, you're sitting on lots and lots and lots of unrealized gains in Palantir. At this valuation, at this juncture, the responsible thing to do is to trim 30% and to continue dollar cost averaging into the stock slowly. So you take some chips off the table and you continue.
Wait. Are you saying dollar cost averaging, meaning that you're in it for the long term?
To DCA into the company so that you protect your ASP. You got to be the responsible adult. You cannot be a YOLO 20-year-old kid. This is a fiduciary duty of you to your future you. Do not be an idiot. If you're
you to future you, I feel like he's talking about long term here.
Up big, trim 30%, continue to DCA, and that's as simple as I can make it for you. A lot of people can't even process that nuance, and when they hear me say trim 30%, they think I'm no longer bullish, but that's fine. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. Okay? If you want to get better at this, if you want to join a community that actually does this.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to have bingo, baby. Bingo. I'm in it for the long term. Booyah. We got a bingo here. Let's freaking go. All right. Big money Bagholder bingo. Who won? Who won in the chat? If you won in the chat, be sure you put in hashtag winner, because 445 of you are watching right now. Yeah, only 200 entries, so which means that half of y'all don't even have a chance because we're about to pick a winner in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Who's going to be our winner today? A big money Bagholder bingo going home with a $10 Amazon gift card is going to be Christopher. Let's go. Let's go, dude. Congratulations. I am so stoked about you. So Christopher, do me a favor. Send us a email over at support@outlier.com. I let April know that somebody was going to win today. Let her know that you are the big winner today, Christopher. And don't anybody, listen, you guys are honest people. Don't anybody try and catfish your way as Christopher. Okay, not cool. I don't appreciate that. Don't even try. Christopher only. Please send us an email. Congratulations to you, my friend. Now let's take a look at a couple stocks that I got on. Let's take a look at a couple stocks that I got on this morning. So I am holding, here's what I have today. I haven't come up with my plan yet just because I just logged in, but let's look at where we're at today. So since I did buy Palantir, we're going to look at Palantir first to celebrate big money bingo on Palantir. Yes, I own Palantir from 118.36. It's at 122 right now. Outstanding. I'll keep it. I don't see any reason at the moment to take it off. I don't see any order blocks in our way. Palantir looks good. Let's go look at the Outlier data for Palantir real quick. We're going to go through the 5 positions I have on right now, and then we'll get you on your way for the day. All right, so Palantir. The heat map continues to rise from 61 yesterday, 61.90, 61.12 yesterday, 61.94 today. Now, what I'm doing is going through the Outlier 9 framework. In fact, let's go through the Outlier 9 framework on each of these. That way you'll know what I'm talking about. The Outlier 9 framework. Let me zoom out just slightly. So first, let's look at the market, the trend, signal, and breadth of the market. So it's everything starts with the market. So the trend of the SPY, let's go back to my watch list. Let's go hit the SPY and Outlier. And we'll look at the market real quick. So the market has a green overlay. When the green overlay is on, that means your 10, 20, 50 are all crossed north. When it has a green overlay on here, that means your Outlier trend template is bullish. And that's what we see as well in the market. If we run over to here, we're going to see the exact same thing once the moving averages pop in. There we go. There's the 20, there's the 10, and there's the 50. Okay, cool. So the market looks really sharp. That's what I want to see. Next, so we've got the market trend. Let's look at the market signal. We have the buy signal. coming through still on the market, so that's good. And then market breadth. Let's look at market breadth. Let me pop over. That was the wrong button here to the market breadth. Now, what we're looking for is making sure that market breadth is still going up. Okay, because we got this crossover here a couple days ago, and then it's popped over, right? So it reset. Once it comes down, goes under, and then back over, that resets for me market breadth, and it's looking higher right now. The value today is at 74.35. So market breadth is increasing. That's the number of stocks that are showing for buy signals on our bull list today. 200 new buy signals today versus 78 new sell signals. That's why market breadth is pushing up higher. So breadth is strong, signals a buy, trend is strong. Next, let's go to the sector, the fear and greed and the breadth, which makes it really easy inside of Outlier. It actually puts it all in one spot. It puts it all in one spot. So we got the buy signal here. Oh, wait, let's not focus. Sector, the tech sector, really looking strong on the tech sector breadth. We can see that growing right here. And this background is the number of stocks with green versus red backgrounds. As you can see here, it's 11 stocks in this sector have a downtrend. 277 stocks in this sector have an uptrend. That's what you want to see. You want to see a strong sector. So this looks great. So all of this is lit green. All of this is bullish. All of this is bullish. Now let's go to the trend, signal, fear and greed, and outlier blocks. So for Palantir, the trend is green, meaning it's in an uptrend. The signal is a buy. That's good. Fear and greed is growing right here from 61.12 up to 61.94. And lastly, let's look on the chart for Palantir. And we can see there's no order blocks in our way right here. No outlier blocks in the way. Now, when I say sell into strength at 71, that's my heat map value right here. Because I got it at 61, I'm giving it 10 points on the heat map value to go up. Palantir looks good for me. So the Outlier 9 is still lit up on Outlier, on Palantir. And Christopher, the winner himself. What's up, dude? So that looks good. Let's go to the next one. The hood up 5% this morning. Holy moly. This is one that I bought at 54.49. It's up to 60 right now. This could be the biggest winner I've had in years at this point. Let me see real quick. Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day. Okay. So looking at this, no outlier blocks in the way, so we don't have to go back to this chart. Let's go back to hood. Looking at the hood, so we have the green overlay. We've got the buy signal. The hood sector is the financials getting more greedy. Now, financials ticked down yesterday. And so my rule is that once it goes over 75% and ticks down, I don't put any more trades until that cycle cycles. And we have not seen that yet in financials. So I'm not going to be putting on any more financial trades until this cycles through again on the breadth. The stock itself moved from 64 to 70 on the fear and greed. Does that mean I need to take off hood today? Yeah, I'm taking off hood today. I'm going to book profits on hood today. I was going to get out at 69 on the heat map. Today it's at 70.71. So I am closing this today at the end of the day. Closing, because that's my rules. That's my rules. Your rules can be different. That's my rules. I will gladly take this. This is a tremendous trade right here. Okay, let's go to the next one. General Motors. General Motors. This is in the discretionary sector. So let's go to GM. All right, fine. I'll look at T-Tech for you guys. Relax. We'll do T-Tech right after GM here. So GM, buy signal, green overlay, getting more greedy in the sector. The sector, again, this is one where the breadth had pushed down, so I'm not going to be putting on any new trades in the discretionary sector, but the sector itself still looks strong. And the stock getting less fearful, more greedy. It's up at 53 today. I said I would get out at 63 on the heat map, so going to hold GM another day. We'll look at T-Tech next, TTEK. I tried to put this one on the other day. I don't know why, but my broker wouldn't let me in it, and that's fine. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. But buy signal came through a couple days ago. green overlay getting more greedy. That's what we want to see. The sector getting more greedy. This is the industrial sector. If you ever want to know, just pop over here, I'll tell you. And the industrial sector breadth is still growing. I mean, this one looks super ultra strong. Let's look and see if anything else, any order blocks on top of it. No order blocks on top of it. I mean, it's flat from the day before, but that shouldn't scare you. A big red candle like that. I mean, it might scare you, but if you close at the end of the day, then, or put it on at the end of the day, it's not going to make all that much difference. So T-Tech didn't have any anything for me. I mean, T-Tech looks all right. Let's finish out here. We have Etsy and Datadog left. So any order blocks up here? No, Etsy's flat on the day. Let's go to Etsy, ETSY. All right. So buy signal, green overlay. It's getting less fearful, more greedy. Greed values at 51, 52. I said I get it at 63. And the sector getting more greedy, more breadth in the sector. I mean, honestly, Etsy looks fine too. I don't see any reason that I'm gonna get out of it today. We'll have to see, right? I have to wait until the end of the day because that's my plan. And then the last one, the Datadog. Let me remove this arrow here. Datadog, I rolled this up yesterday. Bought it at 107. It's at 113 right now. Tremendous trade. And yeah, no outlier blocks in the way. BDOG. All right, looking at Datadog, I said I'd get out at 63 on the heat map. It's at 55 today. You got your green overlay. The sector's getting more greedy. Breadth is getting more greedy in the tech sector. So I don't see myself taking off anything except for Hood today. Hood is looking really strong, which is great. I'd love to sell out on strength if I need to, following my exit rules. Now, here's the deal. All of my trades, every single one, I do live in the afternoon every single day. If you aren't watching live in the afternoon every single day, you're missing out because you could have been following these trades right here. I'm up mid 5 figures on these trades in a span of a couple days. So what are you waiting for? Start watching live in the afternoon. And don't forget, this afternoon, we are lighting up and doing, for the very first time, Outlier University.
Are you ready? Let's go!
Respect is earned. Respect is never given.
Don't forget, starting this afternoon, Outlier University is live. You are supposed to be there live for class. If you're not, you're going to miss out. We have 8 gentlemen plus myself who will be learning together live. And I can't wait to teach you everything that I know 100% for free. So if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, click one of these 2 videos, and I'll see you this afternoon. Talk soon.